Jaclyn Hill has finally decided to close all of her brands, Koze, Jaclyn Roxanne, and maybe even Jaclyn Cosmetics. She's done being a brand owner, and she's addressing everything, from her lipstick downfall to her stealing Koze from a smaller creator, and how she no longer has the passion for owning brands anymore. It's a mess, so let's get into it. Just a few hours ago, Jaclyn posted a video titled, "I'm closing my brands." She says that she's closing both her jewelry line, Jaclyn Roxanne, as well as Koze. As you guys know, Jaclyn and her brands have been nothing but constant drama. Jaclyn Roxanne is always getting called out for being cheap, turning people's necks green, and Jaclyn has even been called out for ripping off designs from other designers. Just a few months ago, she got called out by Lana Jewelry over Jaclyn stealing one of her very popular necklaces, the Blake necklace. Jaclyn and Lana seem to have this friendly relationship online, yet she turned around and ripped off an original design that this designer has had for years. Then we have Koze, and we all know what happened there. Jaclyn stole the name from Kaylin Nicholson. Kaylin had her Koze for over 5 years, and she expanded it from being merch to online yoga classes, a podcast, and so much more. Kaylin knew there were other businesses called Koze out there, and she was fine with that. But she never expected anyone directly in competition in her field to steal the name. Incorporating and trademarking in Canada is extremely expensive and difficult, and Kaylin knew that was her mistake by not trademarking. But morally, Jaclyn was in the wrong. In the end, Kaylin had to shut her business down because she didn't want to be selling merch with Koze across it and have people think that she was repping Jaclyn's brand. She also knew that her Koze would be overshadowed by Jaclyn's Koze in the search results and would ultimately destroy her business. For nearly an entire year, people have been asking Jaclyn to respond and address Koze, and all we've ever got from Jaclyn is shade.
It's just says heavenly skin, TM. At least they trademarked it.
Well, it looks like it's not that funny anymore because Jaclyn has finally made the decision to close her brands for good.
I want to talk to you about what's been going on in my personal life and behind the scenes of the camera that has led to me making the decision on my own to shut down both Jaclyn Roxanne jewelry and my Koze comfort line.
Jaclyn said that this decision all stems back to her lipstick launch. She thought her lipsticks would end up being her legacy. She thought they would be absolutely iconic. And then what happened, happened. When her lipsticks failed, Jaclyn decided that she needed to open up even more brands.
That's when I decided to create 2 new brands. Instead of pouring myself back into cosmetics, taking accountability and not giving up on myself, I decided, well, gotta create new brands, gotta prove myself to my followers that, I'm a bad and I can do this.
She talked about how all her peers in this space all have their own brands and they're thriving with them, but she no longer wants to be a brand owner and says she doesn't like running a business like other creators do. She explained how she doesn't want to be known as the Koze girl or the blanket girl. She always wanted her legacy to be cosmetics, and that's what she wants to get back to. She misses connecting with her audience and says that she's sick of having to oversee employees and be on Zoom calls all day, and having her social media pages look like one big brand deal.
I'm just always pushing product in your face, and I'm so sick of it. I'm so sick of it. I'm so over it. Like, I can't stand, I feel like a salesman, and it's just not me, and it feels icky. Even though I love these products, it's just too much. I just jumped into the dive-in without floaties, and I don't know how to swim, and that's how my life has felt for the past couple of years.
This is where we get into Koze. Jaclyn finally addressed Kaylin and the stealing of her Koze and tried to give her side of things. Jaclyn said that she hired a trademark attorney and they were searching for names that weren't already taken. And after a lot of searching, he finally came back to her and said Koze with a K was free. Jaclyn said that she approved the name and never bothered to look for herself online to see if anyone else was using that name already.
So as a lot of you guys may know, there is a Canadian creator and she had an online digital platform called All Things Koze. And Koze was spelled the same way as my brand, Koze. So at the time, I hired a trademark attorney to make sure that whatever name my team and I came up with for my brand was gonna be able to be used legally. We came up with over 100 different names. Everything was taken. We created names from scratch, taken. Everything was trademarked until we came up with the name Koze, spelled K-O-Z-E. My attorney told me, trademark is open. It's all yours. Great. Where I personally messed up as an owner, as a founder, as a CEO, was not doing my own due diligence on the social media side of things. I was not made aware that there was a smaller Canadian creator with an online platform that had that exact same spelling within the brand name.
It wasn't until Jaclyn had already placed an order for everything that she was made aware of Jaclyn's Koze.
Until we had placed an order for everything, for the blankets, for the robes, for the pajamas, for the socks, for the slippers, and that's when I was made aware of the spelling being the same.
Jaclyn said as soon as she was made aware of Jaclyn's Koze, her and her team reached out to Jaclyn and never heard back from her.
The second that I was made aware of the situation, my team and I reached out to her directly to try to make this right, and we never heard back from her. And I completely understand why, because I would be pissed off if I was her as well. All right, the situation sucks. I'm just giving you my perspective of what happened behind the scenes of the camera.
Now, let's talk about this, because what Jaclyn is trying to say doesn't exactly make sense. Jaclyn said that she reached out to Jaclyn's Koze account before she officially launched and was like, hey, don't know if you know this, but I have a brand already called Koze.
A couple weeks back, I want to say it was like second week of October, I started getting a couple DMs and a couple tags in a post that said Koze, K-O-Z-E. And from what I was reading from the comments and from what people were telling me, that this was going to be the brand launch of a really big creator. When I fell across this Instagram only had like 300 followers at the time. So I just posted a comment on that Instagram post, which only had a couple hundred likes, just saying like, hey, I don't know if this is a brand launch of somebody, but if it is, and like maybe you didn't know I exist, but now you might. I am a YouTuber. I have a brand called All Things Koze. I did not create the cozy aesthetic by any means. And there's definitely enough pie for everybody. Like, I don't know what this brand even is supposed to be at this point. But do you mind maybe just going by any other name? And again, I mean, this was not launched at this point. There was a post from July. I just wanted to kind of like give a little heads up.
Instead of Jaclyn responding to her message, she just posted a reel of her Koze logo with a TM symbol at the end. Jaclyn said that when Jaclyn posted that, a lot of Jaclyn's fans were commenting and being like, yeah, you showed her, and praising Jaclyn for her shady response. So obviously Jaclyn knew about Jaclyn and her Koze and was just doing her best to make her go away. Jaclyn said it herself. How are you going to launch a new brand without even searching social media first to make sure there was nothing else called Koze?
I didn't get any response back from said creator. And then I want to say a week or two later, it was confirmed that this creator was launching this business. I knew at that point they had seen my comment. If I'm being very, very frank and honest, if you were to start any business, if you were to start any company, what would be the first thing you would do when you come up with the name? Would you not look it up on social media and look it up on Google? Because if you did both of those things, you would definitely see my Koze. And if you found my Koze, you would know that I was a fellow YouTuber, a fellow influencer, I hate that word, but content creator with a brand under the same spelling.
Jaclyn trying to make it out as if she reached out to Jaclyn as soon as she was made aware and didn't get a response and it's somehow Jaclyn's fault is literally twisting the story. She saw Jaclyn in her comments, she saw the comments from all her fans praising Jaclyn for posting that TM picture. She knew. There's no way that she didn't know. Did she reach out to Jaclyn after she posted her video announcing that she was going to close her brand after she made the decision not to spend like $100,000 on all these legal battles and just move on?
I decided to rebrand instead. That felt right to me in the sense of, at least at the end of the day, I know that I stuck true to my morals and my values. I'm going to let this person have Koze. I'm going to move on with my life. I'm going to mind my own business. I'm going to wipe my hands clean of this. I'm going to go rebrand, which also another thing that my lawyer was telling me is I technically also had grounds to sue and ask for money, for the money it's going to cost me to rebrand, for the money it is costing me to rebrand. I don't want to, because again, I don't want to take any legal course of action against this person. I don't want the drama from it, and I don't want the stress on either end, the stress on me or the stress on this person. Like, I don't want any ill will towards this person, even if they don't give a shit about me or my company. It's just not the way I move through life. I just have to let go of Koze with zero compensation, zero help, zero anything. Like,
Jaclyn knew what she was doing, and for that to be her only explanation for Koze just goes to show she doesn't care about ruining another creator's brand. As for the ending of Jaclyn's other brands, she says that she still has some products to come out before they're officially closed. She has employees that she still needs to lay off and give them time, and she still has multiple products across both brands with pending launches. She said at the end they'll have big sales and then everything will be done. As for Jaclyn Cosmetics, it sounds like the future of that brand is also undecided. She said that she's doing the bare minimum for her brand and hasn't even put any effort into her partnership with Ulta. She does still have one other Jaclyn Cosmetics launch coming out this month, but after that, it maybe could be the end of that brand too.
As for Jaclyn Cosmetics goes, honestly, you guys, I don't know the future of my brand. I really don't. I mean, I really stepped away and I really just did the bare minimum, and I was given such an incredible opportunity to be in Ulta stores, and I've done the bare minimum supporting my brand in Ulta. Whew. And I haven't even given that relationship the love that it deserves because I just felt like such a failure. So at this point, I don't know what's gonna happen with Jaclyn Cosmetics because of the decisions that I've made, because of the fact that I did the bare minimum.
As you guys know, earlier this year, Forma filed for bankruptcy, and as a result, all the brands under Forma were affected, including Jaclyn Cosmetics. Forma now has new owners, and Jaclyn's brand is no longer a priority for them. The new owners want to focus on their products and not their influencers. An article published by Yahoo reads, "From the outside, these high-level influencers that wanted to partner with Morphe was because Morphe was actually a special brand itself. But what ended up happening is we became the influencer as opposed to the brand developing what its core values are, which is why we're stepping back. We're still leveraged like every beauty brand with partners. We have fantastic partners in the celebrity space, but this brand itself deserves to stand on its own just like other great brands in the space." Funny enough, Jaclyn never addressed anything that came out about Morphe owning her lipsticks from day one and never being a family-owned business like she tried to claim when she launched. Jaclyn said for now, she wants to give Jaclyn Cosmetics the love it deserves, even if it does end up shutting down as well. I think it's just sad that Jaclyn literally had to ruin another creator's brand, all for her to just shut down less than a year later. Kaylin had her Koze for over 5 years. She actually had passion and love for her brand, and clearly Jaclyn's Koze was just a quick cash grab with no real passion behind it. I mean, Jaclyn admitted it herself. Koze doesn't make her excited. It's just unfortunate that she had to ruin someone else's brand before she figured that out. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about everything down below, and I'll see you next time.